Hello and thanks for joining. Got a bit of a longer video here today. It's two races that had around Daily Race B this week on Interlagos, and it starts off with a race that was frankly an absolute shambles. Should have been a great race, but was ruined by a couple of pretty dirty incidents if you ask my opinion. But we're going to watch the replay here from a couple of different angles at certain moments, and yeah, we'll see what we all think. Second race, however, was fantastic, and there was still a couple of moves in there that I think are pretty questionable from some of the repeat offenders that are in these two videos. But stay on board with me and see what you think. If you want to skip about halfway through the video, that's where the really good race is, if you just fancy that. But let's get going for this race here, which started it all off. So coming into T1, there was the majority of cars were Supras. Obviously, that seems to be the fastest car. And balance up against consistency that there is this week. I was sticking with the Peugeot because I set my best qualifying time in it, felt really confident in it, super consistent, so that was the car that I wanted to use to make sure I wasn't spinning off or making any silly errors. Definitely losing out down this front straight to the Supras. The straight line speed with these cars is definitely outpacing the Peugeot, but Sector 2 here I really seem to be catching up, I think, just because of my confidence with how I was driving the car. So no dramas so far, just following around, catching up to them. The Dutchman in front we have a few comings together with over this race, so we'll see how that goes. Do give him a bit of a nudge there, but no change of position, no change of the gap between anybody. I think we all just backed up there a little bit into one another as we come round to what I think of as the final corner, set up for the big straight, and we get a good exit there. So we're going to come charging up, look up the inside, but there's not going to be the room to make that happen. And going to just speed on through a couple of bits of this video. It's already reasonably long, so I don't make it any longer than it needs to be. So skip through a little bit here, nothing particularly exciting going on through the first couple of corners, but then come back as we come down the straight. Now these two in front, Slow Tiger and Sandian, are really going for each other. There is again a bit of contact there, I think, because he broke so early because he was going to go into the back of Slow Tiger otherwise. But again, no change of position, no attempt to pass or anything. It's just one of those things. I did want to show that so that if by any chance he saw this or was in the race, didn't think I was being biased. I was aware I went at the back of him a couple of times. Now, see that there, the Supra nearly losing the back end. That's one thing, and again, with that car, I just feel like it's far more twitchy around this track. There's so many sharp, low-speed corners and then accelerating out. It's a bit of a risky job taking that car. We have dropped back here and lost a little bit of time, but again, in the interest of keeping things moving on, we'll just see how we exit that corner. Again, a big moment for Sandian coming out there, and it has let us catch up a little bit. We're going to speed up as we go down the front or back straight here. I guess it's both, isn't it? Coming up to T1, we're closing right up on him now. Going to stick on here and desperately want to make a move. So these two fighting's definitely been holding me up just far enough behind there to get the slingshot coming out of the corner, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're fully alongside, and I'm sending it into this corner for sure. We go round, make sure to leave space on the right hand side, and he goes wide. Now that looks very suspicious from that angle, and it looks even more suspicious from this angle, so watch this. It looks like I send it up the inside and then make contact with him and send him off, but just so that we're all very clear, here is the lunatic cam from his car that shows there was absolutely no contact. If you want to rewatch and see, my steering was on full lock to the left to give him all the space. See that? No contact whatsoever. He just goes a bit wide, and anyone who's raced this track knows what that curb's like. If you get hung up on that curb, it pulls you right and loses you a fair bit of time. So I thought he was going to send me at that corner there, but then I realised, no, he's going to send me at this corner there. So punts me off and makes the place up, which I obviously felt pretty aggrieved about. I mean, this is it from his angle. He's in 4th gear still, past the braking zone. That curved tyre mark on the left is what nearly everybody uses as a brake marker. He's still in 4th gear when he hits that, so I personally think that was fully intended as a punt, but there we go. So I've lost 2 positions. Just going to try and do what I can. Now we've now got California 0030 behind us, who was someone who had been having a couple of other tussles with over the last couple of nights. Again, we're just going to speed up a little bit here just to get things moving along. Bit of a gap pulling out now, and we've got California coming up behind us. He's got the slipstream, we don't. He's going around the outside here, and he does get fully alongside. But we are wheel to wheel, and here again for me, he just turns into me, sends me off, but it is what it is. You could argue that he would have had track limits penalty if he'd have gone any more to the right. So it's one of those things, just a bit of a racing instant, that one, I think. But looking at it from his angle here, it does look to me like he just sends it into the side of me. There he turns in, and now here he's just, you know, one of those things. His steering is over to the right hand side, so you could say that he was trying to avoid it, but foot's flat to the floor. Not the worst move by any stretch of the imagination, but by this point, as you can tell, I'm probably getting somewhat frustrated. You know, really trying to have some good races here, move the DR up. This is on the live stream of Road to A+, so I'm really trying to get this account up to A+, so we can get into some better lobbies. Now we're catching up to a pack, and there's some real shenanigans going on here. I do make a tiny bit of contact with California there, but I don't pass him, so don't think too much to it. But I see them backing up here, and I think it'd be good to go around the outside. So I go around the outside, fully alongside California here, and past him. Clean as a whistle, absolutely no contact, but of course he does try and send it into the side of me, which actually on that occasion luckily doesn't work, but has set us back a little bit from 5th and 4th who were in front. Let's speed along a bit. We did have the slipstream here, so we managed to stay within a reasonable gap of them. And now last lap. So already down to 6th, and I really feel like I should be in 4th. Flight in 4th, 3rd maybe, but these two are having a bit of a moment up ahead. Got no choice to stick with the Turkish driver here. He just got slowed up a little bit by the car ahead. There isn't really enough space for me to send it up the inside here, so I'm just going to stick to the outside. This corner's been a strong one for me as the Turkish driver goes wide into Sandiyan, and well, I've got to follow him through, haven't I? So follow him through here. Now I'm sure I'm going to get sent. I wish that the Turkish driver had given me the slipstream there. The pair of us probably could have pulled clear, but instead he gets sent wide, I get sent wide. California goes flying through, sending it on everybody. I then come past the Turkish driver. He then, I think he's just a bit annoyed at this point, which is understandable. He apologised after the race for that and just runs me off the track. Then runs through Sandiyan as well. He's taking no prisoners at this point. So I'm now really quite frustrated, and just as the cherry on the icing, Captain Ron there just says, no, I'm having 8th place. See you later, mate. Sends it up the inside and just completely takes me out. So really not the best start to the race there. I then tried to join another race, and I got server disconnect, which seems to be more and more common nowadays. But we then got to this next race, which was actually really good. I was thinking of ending the stream anyway, and then when we had this race, I decided to end it on this and set up ready for next week's races. So, starting in 5th place this time. A few of the same characters around. Captain Ron behind us. We've got Joseph Radisson. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but I've raced with this guy a lot on my other account. Always had pretty good races with him. And then we've obviously got Slow Tiger and Calvin Karting from the previous race, and Tomchi92, who is a new driver in for this lobby. Once again here through the first chicane, getting dropped by all the Supras. I don't know if this was just me being a bit cautious on the first corner of the first lap, or if it's just the way that car was, but I was really getting left behind here, so we'll speed along a little bit. Do manage to, as always, catch up with them on this double right-hander coming up here. So we're going to close up on this gap. A lot of people seem to be avoiding cutting this curb, I guess to just not get big penalties, or maybe the Supra was more unstable around there, but easy way to gain a couple of tenths on them up there, and we're going to catch up with the pack. Now, there is a fair bit of contact going on between second, third and fourth here. Joseph takes advantage of it and does what I think is a great move personally, just sees the gap, goes for it, very little to no contact, and my heart absolutely sinks as Slow Tiger nearly loses the back end there in front of me. I mean, that for sure, I wouldn't have been able to avoid making contact with him. I would have got a huge penalty for forcing him to go off the track, and it would have been race over, but he manages to recover, and we're now in the pursuit of fourth place. So going to try and stick with him here. A little bit more shenanigans as Joseph goes a little bit wide. Didn't make the smoothest exit onto the straight there, so do lose a little bit of time, but we're going to try and gain that back through this left-hander here, where we seem to be a lot quicker than the Supras coming into this next section. So Joseph defends, Slow Tiger's looking up the inside, thinks better of it. I'm just focusing on obviously being as smooth as I can. I need to catch up with this pack and get involved with what's going on here. Because of all the fighting, this top four are staying really close to each other. Slow Tiger has a big moment there. Now, I see an opportunity to get alongside here, and I think, do you know what? Try and make a move work around the outside. Stay far to the left. You know, I'm half off the track here, and he's just determined to not let me through. I have to kind of force my way through, because it's either that or I just, you know, let off completely. And he sends it back up the inside. I mean, I think it's going to be a very split opinion on this, but I really feel like I left enough space there as I was going around the outside. I'm here literally getting force of the track, he's turning fully into me, and then this here is just, I mean, it's quite clear, he even turns in a little bit there, pushes me outside, doesn't send me off, but he's not giving that place up, is he? I mean, he's made his decision, he's staying in fourth place, and that's what's happening. So I'm pretty determined now to get a clean move pulled off on Slow Tiger. I want to be the bigger man, for lack of a better phrase. I don't want to just punt him off. Really want to get a move made. Look around the outside here. It's not happening, so fall back into file. I think the Supra just got the edge there. Getting out of that corner. We're right up his exhaust pipe. Coming around here at the start of lap 3. Look up the inside. Not going to happen. He obviously closed the door on that straight away. Now, I did think about the cutback here. I got very overexcited on the throttle, unfortunately. I don't think it would have made any difference in terms of position, but do lose a tenth or so to him there. Now you can see more shenanigans up front, top 3. We've got Tomchi getting sent off, penalties being given to Calvin. Joseph's now up into first place and then gets sent wide and gets passed by Calvin Karting. Slow Tiger takes advantage of everything, gets up the inside. I've got to choose here, and I just choose to go up the inside. I mean, it's the way it's going to happen, unfortunately. Tomchi's going to lose out in that scenario, and we're going to follow Slow Tiger through, as much as I don't want to team up with this guy who I feel like's been a bit strong, to say the least, with me. I haven't really got much choice, so get a great exit here out of the last turn, right in the slipstream of Slow Tiger, and got 2 laps to go. Now here he's singling with his indicator to the right, which I think he's saying, look, let's not fight, let's catch up with P1 and P2, which I agree with. So I pull over to the right. I'm not going to make some crazy dive bomb or try and go around the outside and ruin both of our races. So Tomchi comes flying up from behind there, but we're far enough ahead that it doesn't affect us. Managed to stick with Slow Tiger through here, and Calvin is going to come round to serve his penalty. So this is going to bunch top 4 up again. Coming round here. Always seem to be faster than these Supras through this corner as SRT goes wide there. Slow Tiger up the inside. Now I can see what's going to happen. I'm thinking he's going to send it up the inside there, but he doesn't. He actually holds back. I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe he feels a bit bad for the moves earlier. No, sends me off, almost rams into me. I got a bit strong at that point. I thought, I'm not having this. Just kept my foot planted on the inside line, moved around, shut the door on him here. You're not coming through. I figured he's been strong enough with me. As Calvin just commits murder in broad daylight there. I mean, we've got to go back and watch that, because I couldn't believe that when I saw what was happening. This is the fight for first place here. Joseph's come through because of the penalty. There might be some history to this. I didn't go back and watch the whole thing, but I think maybe Calvin got that penalty perhaps because of a move that Joseph pulled on him. So he's chasing him down here, and then just accelerates hard into him. I mean, he could have turned to the right a little bit there and avoided him, but he instead chose to murder the man. So we are up into second place. I'm now thinking, wow, I could be finishing second here. Definitely looking at a podium either way, but Slow Tiger and Calvin Karting are friends. They've been talking in the chat all evening. They've been helping each other out. So I made a bad decision here. I should have taken the slipstream, I think, of Calvin. Instead, I take the inside line, and that lets Slow Tiger make what's actually a really good move around the outside. Can't argue with that at all. He gets late on the brakes, gets the move done. That was actually fair play. So we make a tiny bit of contact coming through the chicane, but that could be equally my fault or his, either way. Tomsy's now caught up with us. He's in fourth place. Desperately trying to get a move back on Slow Tiger though to get up in second place. Really would love to get one over on him, as I feel like I've been a bit aggrieved by the moves that he's made on me. We're going to follow him down here through sector 2 for the last time, as he does take a tighter line here, trying to squeeze every little bit of time out the lap. The Milka livery of Tom G chasing us down. Now, unfortunately here, he's just stringing it together a bit too quickly. He's had a bit of a moment. It's not going to be enough. This left-hander here was a bit of a weak point for me that night, losing a bit of time to them through there. Cleanly through the final real corner of the track. Not cleanly enough to be right up in the tailpipe, and that is unfortunately going to be it. We did finish in third place, but I'm still really pleased to finish in third in that. It was quite a highly ranked lobby compared to where I was at, and had some good battles in there. Still feel like Slow Tiger was a little bit strong at times, but you know, that's racing, isn't it? It's going to happen. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about it in the comments. Looking forward to Daily Race C next week. It's going to be a lot of fun around Mount Panorama, and thanks for tuning in if you made it this far. Drop a like or a comment if you feel so inclined, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks very much.